I think that will capture me well. Okay. Good. I'm rolling. I hope I get the audio. Okay. That will be enough for now. Great. So don't allow that to distract you. It's just for purposes of me trying to just get my own recording of my session. Let me share something with you. On the first day of creation, God created a dog. Now I'm in church, so everybody's wondering, hey, come on. Hey, this is not heresy. Okay? But have fun. On the first day of creation, God created a dog. He said, sit in your house, settle in your house, and bark all day at anybody who passes by. And the dog said, 20 years, that's a long time barking. He said, God, let's have a deal. Take 10 years. I keep the 20, I'll do the barking for 10 years. And God said, you have it. That's good. On the second day of creation, God created a monkey. And said, monkey, I give you 20 years. For 20 years, do monkey tricks, entertain people. And the monkey said, 20 years doing monkey tricks is a long time. God, let me give you 10, and I'll keep the other 10. So God said, that's a good deal. You have it. On the third day of creation, God made a cow. He said, you will go out in the sun with a farmer, toil all day in the hard sun, work hard, provide milk, provide for the family. The cow said, God, 40 years is such a long time. Why don't you do this? I give you back 20. Let me do the job for 20 years. God said, good deal. You have it. On the fourth day, God created man. And he told him, I give you 20 years. Eat, sleep, play, make merry, enjoy life, have fun. The man said, what? 20 years only? That is such a short time. I need more. Let me tell you what we're going to do. Let me take the 10 years from the dog, 10 years from the monkey, and 20 years from the cow. So I have 80 years in total. So that is why the first 20 years of your life, you eat, sleep, make merry, have fun, enjoy life. The second 40 years, you toil in the sun, you provide for the family, you work hard, you labor, with no thanks. You get rained on. Then the next 10 years, you play monkey tricks to the grandchildren. I don't know where I'm but it's coming, Okay? You play monkey tricks and have fun with the kids. And then the last 10 years, you sit outside your door and you bark at everybody who comes to you. I don't know where you are, but I just explained life to you. You are one of those faces, okay? So have fun at the face you are in, because if you are walking in the sun, you'll be doing monkey tricks very soon, okay? So we are blessed to be here this morning. I'm really excited. I was looking forward to having this meeting, to sharing with you. And as you guys introduced yourselves, I identify with each one of you when you say, I'm 9 months, and I'm like, I can almost remember that as though it was yesterday. And so as we come here, and thank you, Arthur and the leadership team, for having us, it's a great honor. I think there are many people you could have chosen, but by God's guidance and grace, you found us. It was the first time we were meeting. And so we find it as an honor to come together and to speak. But hey, we're not coming to speak as gurus, okay? The fact that I'm in the John Maxwell team as a speaker doesn't mean that, hey, here I am to command you guys and say, guys, these are the rules for marriage. This is how we're doing this deal. Yeah? And you must follow them if you want to be successful. But what we want to do is share our experiences. Share what we've gone through and say, we really struggled with this factor, but this is how we found to deal with it. Do I have all the answers? No. Will I share everything I think I know? No. What I found is that as we went to different speaking engagements, God in His wisdom found a way to speak to us at the place where we were at, to solve whatever issues we were going through, or to prepare us for what was going to come. So, however this message comes to you, pick what you believe is for right now, and pick what is a preparation for what is coming. Amen? Amen. Brilliant. Now, let me give you a story. I love stories, So, I was not very old, but we went to Naivasha, the Lake Naivasha, when we were young. And naturally, my risk appetite is very high. So she's the one who is telling me not to do skydiving and bungee jumping until our son is at a certain age. I feel like somebody who is being pulled back. I like challenge. I love adrenaline. I just like going all out. So we went to the lake, and there was this guy who was using this long stick to kind of dip it in the water and move with the boat forward. Have you seen something like that? So I just thought, how does it feel like to be, because I didn't know how to swim at that time, but I was wondering, how does it feel like to be in a boat, be moving with this guy? How is it that he's putting this stick inside there? How is he doing it? My imagination just kept going. Because my mind, I knew it was such a deep place. This guy had to be doing some magic. And so when I saw the boat coming, I just purposed in my mind and said, you know what? I'm going to get on this boat no matter what happens. So the guy comes all the way close to the shore, and some people get off, because he was kind of ferrying people back and forth from the other side. And I said, whatever happens, because this guy went and came back, I will get in and I'll go with him and I'll come back. So when he got close and the people were getting in, and I was kind of looking at him with those eyes of mercy, trying to tell him, please let me get in the boat. And he's looking at me back with, what are you doing as a small person doing in the boat? You don't have your money, and I don't want to know who your mother is when something happens. So I kept looking at him with these eyes, and for like 2 seconds, I could read his body language, and he was like, okay, you can get on the boat. So I hurriedly jumped in, and my friends were looking at me and thinking, wow, he's going to have fun. They were too scared to even approach. So I looked at them and I was like, guys, I'm getting in. So I got into the boat, the other guys got in, and he did his thing. So we started moving towards the other side. I knew I was going to get a ride to and fro. But the moment we had gotten way farther into the lake, and it became deeper, and it looked like the boat was swaying because of the water. There were no waves per se, but you know the way the water just kind of plays around when there's something. That's what was happening. So I'm looking back at my friends, and they're looking at me. I can see it in their eyes. They think I'm so lucky. I'm so privileged. I got the deal. Wow, this guy is having fun. And he's not capsizing as we thought he would. But then I'm looking at my friends and I think, wow, they must be having fun because they are not as scared as I am. They're back on the shore and I'm in the water. And I don't know how this deal is going to go down. I can see where we're headed and it looks like it's so far away. I'm scared. And long story short, we went to the other side. We arrived at the destination and we came back. But along the journey, this guy is looking at me like, I don't want to know who your mother is in case anything happens on this boat. But that was not the whole idea. The whole idea is that I got onto the boat. I enjoyed myself. I was scared at some point. I got to my destination. We managed to come back. But the thing that I want us to kind of focus today here is, I see marriage as a boat. A boat that you are so eager to jump into. And everybody next to you is telling you, please don't get on the boat yet. It's not time. Your dad is telling you, don't you think you should have waited? You know, my dad was telling me, don't you think you should have waited? I wanted this girl so bad, I said, I'm going to pay the balance of the fees. Okay? He said, don't you think you should have? I said, no. I want to get on the boat. And I want to jump in and go with it. Okay? And the moment I got into the boat, like we all do, jump in the boat of marriage, what everybody was like, don't get on the boat. The moment we begin to move in to the waters, to head to our destination, what begins to happen? The boat rocks. And you're scared. You say, I think I should have listened to my mom. She must have been right. She had some wisdom. And they are looking at you from this other side and saying, wow, don't they look nice? They make a nice couple. They must be having fun. They don't even call us. Now they are enjoying life together. This is all they ever wanted to do. And everybody else that you are around who is with you in the boat is looking at you like, I have my own issues. Okay? I'm dealing with my own stuff. And as we go through this boat of marriage, and I want to think of yourself, as much as there are other boats around you of people on the same waters, on the same lake, on the same ocean, and they're kind of going. I want to share what, in my experience, after just looking at our lives together, 3 things. For people who I see are taking notes, they are wondering, what is the topic of your speaking? Yeah. Let me help you. Habits of successful sailors. Okay? That is for the note takers. For the rest of us, let's go on with the story. Yeah? Because I'm having fun. Okay? So, what are some of these habits of successful sailors? Because the notes people, again, want me to give them number 1. Okay? So, here is your number 1. But before we get number 1, I think all of us have had an opportunity to be in the waters or on a boat. What do you think is the most important thing that a sailor needs to do? What's the most important thing a sailor needs to know or to do or whatever it is to get to their destination? Focus. I love that. What else? Notes, people, please note that down. Direction. I love that. Note that down as well. Okay, what else do you think a sailor needs to have figured out? To have life jackets for the people coming. In this case, there are 2, yeah? So who of you has the life jackets? Whose idea was it? Was it your? I think so. Yeah, let's have the life jackets, just in case. Yeah, we need to get off the boat and jump into the water. Wow, I love that. What else do you think is most important for a sailor? Yes. The boat. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is the boat. But now, the guy is on the boat. Yeah? And I love that. Sorry? It doesn't make you a sailor. Wow, I love that perspective. Being on the boat does not make you a sailor. And what I love about that is that you remind me something I should have said. To appreciate each one of you for coming here. Guess what? You had something else to do. But your being here is actually a statement on the wall that, hey guys, I want my marriage to do what? To work. Because when I look around, I can see broken watches, and I need to keep checking if my watch is working. So I need to charge my batteries. I need to switch on this thing. The fact that you're here means that you want to become a good sailor. So let me share with you what I think is an important thing for the sailor. And I love that he said direction. I love that he said focus. Let me add something that I think is important, that sailors must agree on the destination. Don't you think that's true? Because you get on the boat and then, you see, for me, I just got on the boat for a ride. But at least I knew this guy will go back, go to the other side and do what? I had an idea of where we are going and how long the journey is going to take. Now, for marriage, you may not know how long the journey is going to take, but at least we have to have an idea of where it is we are going. Okay? Can we allow the cups to go out? Good. Brilliant. Looks like everybody's back on the boat. Now let's move on. I think it's important for you to agree on the what? On the destination, and that is where we are going. Okay? The other thing that, before I go to the next thing, the second thing is I found that when I married her, I had my own ideas of, I think, where I wanted to go. And she had her own ideas of exactly where she thought this marriage was going to go. So we got together, we got on the boat. She knew I must be a sailor because I got her on the boat. She sat on the boat and we start moving. And where she thinks she wants to go, she hasn't told me. Because I was so preoccupied by getting her into the boat in the first place. Don't you think so? Yeah, I'm taking her for coffee, telling her, please get on my boat. I'm taking her to the movies, to the Don Moen concert, just to say, please get on my boat. And then finally she says, okay, I'll get onto your boat. Let's go and deal with the parents. We deal with the parents, we get on the boat, and we start moving. And no one knows where we're going. She just likes me being on the boat. She thinks on the boat there'll be more coffee, Don Moen concerts. Only to realize they are not there. Okay? But when we kind of got on into the journey, I realized, no, I think for a sailor, I must tell her where I think this boat is going. Because I had the idea, I had the blueprint. And she was coming along and saying, I think you take leadership and you will take me where we're going. And God has been talking to me and telling me, Chief, you need to know where you're taking this deal. Yeah, I have going to give you the resources and everything, but you better know where you're going. And God talks about it and says, two cannot walk together unless they are in agreement. So I hurriedly tried to organize with her and say, hey, honey, I think this is where we're going. Okay? And we sat down and got our act together and agreed this is where we are going. So we figured out the destination, we agreed on it. That took some communication. So for people who are writing notes, put a hanger in your notes and write communication, okay? We had to talk it out, kind of agree, trade off a few things here and there and agree, this is where we are going, and this is however we are going to finally get there. The second thing I noticed was this. This is to help the note people. Number 2. You have to count the cost to understand what it will take to get to this destination. You get my point? You have to know what it will take to get to your destination. And by that I mean what we just did is agreed and said, okay, what are we actually going to do to arrive at this destination? Now that we are in agreement, we know this is where you're taking us, my friend. What will it take to get onto this journey? But there are some things we had not planned for. So we are having fun, we are having her, I'm working hard at night, and then boop, her stomach is big, and I say, oh, 9 months later, in the boat, we have a new member. And I'm busy lifting the sails and saying, honey, you know, this is where we're going. I need to keep pulling this thing at night. This guy has come. They need more money. They need more milk. I need to lift the sails so that this boat can move faster to the destination that we have all agreed we are heading towards. But the thing is, the more I kept working hard, the more she decided to stay with the baby and kind of circle. And I'm saying, move the rudder. She's saying, I can't move the rudder. So I need to come here, lift the sails a little bit, tie that thing, and then go to the back. And the wind is moving. And are we going this way? Are we going that way? She's saying, honey, we are not on our destination. You are moving off track. Come back on track. You need to be home in time now. You have a son. You need to play with him. At this point, I wish I was on the land. My friends are looking at me and saying, wow, I think he's having fun. Me, I'm looking at them and I'm saying, wow, I think those guys are having fun because they don't have to deal with all this boat business. Counting the costs was something we needed to sit down and say, hey, let's figure out this deal. What will it take for us to get to our destination? Number 3, and hopefully this is the last one. So I don't give you too many points, you choke. You remember manageable pieces. Number 3, be willing to pay the price. Okay? Have you ever done a budget? In these boat times, you're told we need diapers. By the way, have you ever calculated, for those who have children, have you ever calculated how much changing one diaper costs? Kids must be very expensive. Because every time I lift their legs like this, that's 40 shillings. Yeah? That's the diaper plus the wipes. Okay? So in a day, when they've just been born, they averagely use about 8 diapers. So do 40 times 8. Count the costs. So that you're pulling here and then you're coming back here to do what? And then in the evening I'm coming and I'm tired and she's telling me, my job was, I was official burping job. Okay. She wakes up again. He wakes up again because it's a boy. Okay, again. I'm telling her, I think he's not burping. He doesn't have air. He said, no, wait until he burps. 30 minutes later, then I hear, put it down. I had not factored that part in when I was telling her, please get on my boat. Come to Java. Let's go to the, where did we go? I took you to many places. Yeah? And I was wowing her with this small car and I'm telling her, let's go to Baringo, let's do this. We had fun when we were dating. All this to get her into the bus. So she's got on the boat. Later we decided this is the direction. Now I'm counting the cost and every day it looks like the cost keeps getting what? The more I wish I stopped buying diapers means the faster I need to start paying for school fees. And now, I just worked harder. On the 28th, I'm going to have 2 bundles. That is more what? More cost. This is what I found. I have to constantly count the costs. Now my son is asking me, where are you going? I say, I'm going for a meeting. He says, I also want to go for a meeting. When I come back home, he's waiting for me at the door. He has a ball in his hands. I have a laptop in my hand, and I have some job to do. And she's telling me, she's just looking at me with those eyes of, yeah, you have a son now. Please keep your laptop there. You will figure out what you need to do. But at the same time, you know, there is this business we do at night, and she also is saying, I need to tick here on the to-do list. So I think we need to jig tonight, so please keep your laptop. The cost keeps getting what? And I don't know how it's going to be after this, so I need to sit down with her and let's organize and see how the cost is. But even besides counting the costs, am I willing to pay the price? Because I found this. In life, you never stop paying the price. The law of sacrifice says, to go up, you must give up something. Now, this is what I found about the law of sacrifice. It doesn't mean that I'm holding something here, and so to grasp onto the other one, I need to let go so that I hold on to this. Although literally it means that, what I found is that it means that I need to evaluate which is of a higher value, which is of greater importance now. And I just need to kind of embrace that and prepare myself to hold on to that. I still may have this other thing in my life, but the amount of time that I used to give these 2 things begins to change. The more I move on, focus becomes important. Direction becomes critical. I cannot just gamble. And therefore, the willingness to pay the price becomes a big deal. Because this is the thing happens. The day you stop paying the price is the day you stop moving. There's kind of a toll booth in life. You know, you get somewhere, you take off your wallet, and you count the, say, how much is it? You pay, you proceed to the next level. You think, wow, I just paid. No sooner do you get to the other place than you find, hey, there's another toll booth here. You need to pay the price. And what I found with marriage, that's the deal. I'm on this boat and we're moving and I'm pulling the sails and we're going. And now we have another kid on the boat. We have 3 people. When we started, we were 2. Now we have 4. The commitments go up. The price goes up. The day I say, nonsense. Yeah? This is more important. I jump the boat. I leave the boat to go. I go into another boat. Then I come swimming and jump into the boat to find, hey, things are not in order. The boat is full of water. The day I stop paying the price, forget it. It's a done deal. Okay? Now, those are for me the things that I think are really critical. But guess what? I'm not in the boat alone. While I'm there pulling the sails, things are going through my head and I'm thinking, Chief, you need to count the cost. You need to bring in some leadership, mojo here. Get the family where it's going, put the money on the table, provide. Those are the things consuming my head. She is seated at the back there, helping me organize this rudder thing. She also has her things going on where? In the head. And I thought I have this deal figured out. I'm taking you where we want to go. I'm paying the price. I'm doing everything that needs to happen. I am making everything available for the family. I think everything should be fine. But then she comes into the scene. And some of the things that I'm doing when I'm trying to pay the price are not pleasing her. So when I come, she's looking at me like this. I say, what do you expect me to do? Can't you see I'm doing everything possible? She's like, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I sit down. Momentarily, the boat is not moving. Oh my! And I want her to share. Because when we sat down with her and said, honey, this is what I feel God is laying in our hearts to speak. She had a totally different message. And I said, okay, let me share my message. Then you can come and share. Because I know, you see, this guy is thinking, I need to have focus. She's saying, we need a life jacket. You get the point? I'm thinking, we need to pay the price. She's got her own things in the what? Now, it's even more complicated. And that's why people say marriage is hard. Marriage is complicated. No, it's not complicated. It's just that we have 2 different perspectives. And if God made us to have the same perspective, why just not make one of us? But God is like, hey, I'll show you guys. I'll make you, and then I'll take some of you and make another one. So you are just slightly similar, but very different. So that you agree on the most important things. But on the others, you see things differently. And I want to ask Edith to come and just share from her heart some of the things that, now in this state, your memory is not sometimes there. So I just took a snapshot of your notes because your notes are in my iPad. This is what I believe you wanted to share. Let me I'm still in control of the boat. Okay? Yeah, I'm still in control of the boat. Yeah. Now you're just about to hear it from my co-sailor's point of view. So let me sit down, because if I keep talking, I'll just say it from these guys, focus, direction. Let's hear the people who need safety, life jackets. Okay? Please go ahead. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Once again, let me remind you, my name is Edith. And I'm married to this guy. also how my son behaves. When he's explaining stuff, he must do this thing. And at first I thought, you can just explain, I can understand. But now when you do this, and maybe you're doing an exam, you remember what he did, and you're like, oh yeah, that's what he meant. Okay, yesterday we were talking about what we would share, and he brought the idea of a boat. And at first, I thought this boat, when we started, I expected expectations. I expected him to take me to where we are supposed to go. I can't tell you that I knew where we were going. I don't know. I just looked at him and I was like, he has this psych, and this psych will take us through to where we need to go. But then when we came into the boat, I realized this psych, it's not all that. Sometimes this psych can take us to a very different destination. So I have to tell him, my friend, ni side. Yep. And then, for him, he's very confident. So he would tell me, no, I think this is the side we're supposed to go. Then I would be very mad, because now he's not understanding. We are not children anymore, right? So I'm like, it's this side. Then I give him reasons why it needs to be this side. But he also has his reasons why it should be on that side. Then I'm like, now who can I tell? If I go to my pastor, it's not even been a month. So everyone will be like, that's what we think. Everyone will be like, my goodness, just you're barely a month old. And then when you go to tell these pastors or this couple, your best couple, they'll be like, that's a very minor issue. And for me, telling me it's a minor issue, I keep quiet. I don't think I can trust you. Because I'm like, you call this thing minor. You should know where I'm being taken. This side, I know we are supposed to go to this side. So at first, I thought marriage was a bliss. Then I came into it. My mom really tried. She organized like 4 bridal showers. I thought, hey, now me, I'm just going to sail this thing with this man. Wait until I enter the boat. On our wedding day, after everything now was over, I don't know, I thought I would still go home. I don't know. I was like, after this, I'm still going back to my dad's house. Then I saw him enter the car. Then we went to this place, Serena, to spend the first night. I don't know what I was thinking. I just thought maybe let me go to Serena, then I'll still go back. I don't know. I was like, maybe I went too fast. Maybe I can start this next week or something. I don't know. So after that, we went there, and now our best couple took us to that place. Then our best couple was like, now we will leave you here. And I'm thinking, where are you going? Please stick with me. I knew the next thing that I had been prepared for was what? Sex. Say it.
Sex.
Thank you. So I was like, okay. Then I told him, first let's have supper. So I'm still buying time. Went and had our supper. Then we had to come back. So I'm like, now what is next? I can't wash this place. It's a hotel. life continued. And during our honeymoon, I remember I liked going to the water mostly, because there at least there was nothing. You know, you're outside there, you cannot kiss outside there. Yeah? You cannot have sex outside there. So I really loved going to the water, because once in the room, he paid the price, right? So you're supposed to pay your dues.
Pay your part.
Yeah. I really liked going to the water and just do things outside the room. Anyway, as this boat is still sailing, the first years, we expect also to be treated the way we saw you treat us the first time. So there's some water coming into the boat, but instead of you picking a cup or a bucket and throwing the water outside, you're like, honey, nimeumia hapa. I'm hurt. You're supposed to tell me sorry, right? But you're like, oh, there's some water. You're taking the bucket and throwing the water outside. But me, I'm expecting you first to take care of me instead of taking care of the boat, because that's what you did. You opened the door for me to enter into the car. Now he's not opening. he's taking the water outside. So the expectations now start building up, and maybe you're not communicating. You're expecting it, but you're not telling the other person. So, and what I have found out is these people, as we are building these expectations, and I expect him to deliver, he has no idea that I have the expectation. And sometimes he's too busy, you know, doing the sailing. And back here I'm mad because he's not seeing. I expect you to see. I think when you are getting the boat, no one told you about this expectation.
It was my first boat.
It was but you should have been prepared.
Now the people told me, this is the boat, that's what you use, go in.
You see what you get yourselves into. I have expectations. I want to be treated like nicely first. We have not even had our first child, so I'm the first child. So I have to be treated right, and this guy is not seeing what I'm seeing. So my first thing was to communicate.